Hey, welcome back to Techopolis 3, where in the last video, we completed this dimensional ore processing setup. We've got the 4 thermal evaporation chambers to fuel this giant processing array to convert any dimensional ore into a ton of its respective dust. And I now have a lot of diamonds. More than I'm going to need for a while. And I've also disabled this because I don't need more diamonds than this right now. Maybe I can put this onto a different thing, but I've disconnected this for now because it doesn't need to be running constantly. But with this setup completed, I should be able to get most ores in the game. If I can create a dimensional ore for it, I can put it in this machine, it can generate it for me, and I can put it through this system and get anything in reasonably large quantities relatively quickly. So now, with this kind of detour out of the way, I can return to the actual progression here, and I can start working towards Elite Technium again. And just looking through the list here of the stuff that I'm going to have to do along the way, Elite Technium is further away than I thought it would be, but in the middle of this all, I can probably get an ME system. Not a very big one or a very strong one, but an ME system nonetheless. And I kind of want to do that, because I'm not missing too much. I'll still have to continue down the Elite Technium tree for a little bit, so that I can actually get Fluix crystals, but I reckon that's a good final product for this video, is an ME system. And I can probably connect it into the Tom stuff already, because it works in exactly the same way, and is cheaper than dealing with drives right now. So where do I start here? I guess I may as well start by going towards the arc furnace, because I need that to get Fluix. And along the way I can get black quartz as well, which is not as bad as I thought it would be. I just need to take some of my Certus quartz and put it through the dimensional infuser. And also, now that I can get black quartz, that's one more Technium part. And I think, yeah, Skystone is kind of the same thing. Anyway, now I just need the arc furnace, which needs a reasonable amount of work. First I need to steal some lithium and put it through the chemical crystallizer. So to do that, I wonder if I can just... no. It's still primarily going into the machine that turns into sulfuric acid. So I'll just disconnect it briefly and let that fill up. And I really should make this whole bit quicker. 5 ambient water collectors are not very good. I should use an electric pump. It's not too expensive for me to make this. I just need a Technium machine frame and a fluid pump. And there's that. Then over here, I can remove this for now. And I forget if it needs to be an infinite water source for the pump to work, but I always make one anyway. But I just need to bring the power into the side, and then I can take the water out the top. And it should be a lot quicker. But I can still put upgrades in it. So I'll just get 8 more speed upgrades and 8 more energy upgrades. And now this should be able to pump a lot more water. Yeah, so much so that the evaporation plant can't keep up. I probably need to make it bigger then. Because doing most things going forwards, I'm going to need a lot of hot water and a lot of brine and probably a lot of lithium and maybe a lot of sulfur? I'm not sure. So I can set up this. Once I'm done with the lithium, then I can start collecting sulfuric acid. But this whole thing is very slow. Can I make these heaters better? No. Is that even the problem with most of these? I can fix all of this later. For now, I've got that lithium, which I hope is going to be enough to go off of for now. And I'll leave that while I wait for the sulfuric acid to very slowly build up. But I just need to put the liquid lithium in the chemical crystallizer? No, I need to decondentrate it first. There. Oh, and it's all ending up in this pressurized tube. That's workable. There. So that's 10 lithium dust, which might be enough for now. I'm gonna need so much more for the Elite Technium, but I might not directly need any more for this video. I'm just gonna need some more sulfur. And I wonder if there's any way that I can steal the sulfur out of here. The gauge dropper might work. It's pretty cheap if I want to try it. Yep. I guess I don't need to be storing it like this. and I can just set the machine back to working normally. Well, I don't know how much sulfur I'm gonna need. I guess I'll go with 10 for now, just like with the lithium. I can put the rest back where I found it. And now I need to make hop graphite in an industrial squeezer with raw hop graphite dust. So 2 sulfur, 6 coke. That makes, ooh, 1 hop graphite. How much of this do I need? I'm gonna need probably 3 graphite electrodes. That's a lot. I'm gonna need a lot more sulfur. I'm also gonna need to get a lot of coke dust. But my coke ovens are being used right now, so I might need to make another one. It's not very expensive. I've gotten plenty of coal already, and I've already got a ton of black bricks. Then I'll just get myself a bunch of coal, and then I can set up this coke oven somewhere, but I'm kind of out of space everywhere. Should I make a new area? I'm gonna need a lot of space for the arc furnace too. Maybe I could just move some things around in here, because these multi-blocks take up a lot of room, and if I just set them back a bit, I can get myself quite a lot more space in here. And I'm just gonna shove the coke furnace up the back, the coke oven rather, and stick the coal blocks in it. And this is gonna take a very long time to go through, so I guess in the meantime, I need to make that squeezer, which doesn't look to be that bad. It's a lot smaller than I remember. Most things here I can get pretty easily, or in some cases I already have spare. The wooden barrels I haven't made before, but they're pretty cheap. So all I'm really missing is 1 more redstone engineering block and 2 light engineering blocks. And that should be it. And again comes the question of where does this go? As much as I could just place this in the middle, I don't know if I want to do that. I just need to move a couple things around. That gives me a nice space here to be able to fit the squeezer. So now I just need to build this up. And it's a little hard to tell how this goes just from this preview, because I can't quite see where the fluid pipes are. But I think I've got it. No. Maybe that? Yes. Okay. Now I'm basically just waiting on the coal coke, and then I can start getting the hot graphite. But, I need the graphite electrodes for the arc furnace itself to function, but, I should be able to just make the arc furnace. It's a lot of steel, but it doesn't seem that bad. My biggest problem is the size. But I think I have an idea. I'm gonna have to make a new area, because I'm very much running out of space. But I think I'll move the dimensional infuser, because everything else here kind of fits with the vibe of the room. Except maybe these machines, but they're already in a bit of a weird spot. So then if I need to make a new room, where does it go? Could I? I think I've got an idea for a weird spot. I don't want to go down, because there's not much room here. I might be able to fit something in there, but it's still a bit of a weird spot. I don't want to expand upwards here, because that's for all the Technium factories. Nor do I want to expand upwards here, because this room will just keep going upwards with miners and whatnot. So then maybe I build on top of this area. Eventually I'm going to break out onto the top here, if I need a giant facility floor. But for now, I think I might still be able to stay contained with the mountainside. I think I know what to do here. This little bit that I've got here has always felt weird to me. I mean, it's existed because it's trying to go around the mountain, but I can turn this into its own staircase, and it can maybe go up to a new room? How do I feel about something like that? I think it could work. I think I might want to make this room a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'd say that's comparable in size. Also, I'm only just noticing now that this room is 4 blocks tall. Every other room's been 5. No wonder they've all felt a bit more open, because they literally have been. Anyway, I can finish off the typical decorations that I do around here. I'd also like to try and hide the jank a little bit better. Make things slightly more consistent. Yeah, sure, that works. And I guess while I'm in a building mood, I have a couple other ideas for things. Like, down here, I can mirror this staircase, because that's always kind of annoyed me, and it makes this bit feel a bit more centralized. And also now I've got one big staircase leading all the way up. Later on, I'll probably also expand this staircase up onto the top, once I start building up there. But for now, I can just leave this as is. And I'm kind of tempted to mirror the stairs down here. Yeah, it'll be quick. There we go, now it's completely symmetrical. Still not terribly useful, because flight blocks exist. But it looks cool. I like it. Anyway, to get back on track, arc furnace. I'm going to spend quite a long time waiting on the steel here, because not only do I have to melt more iron, I then have to chuck it through the metallurgic infuser to get the steel, but there's still plenty of other things here that shouldn't require anything. The cauldron takes iron, but I have enough spare. I've got a spare redstone engineering block, and I've probably got enough spare to get the rest of the light engineering blocks. I think exactly enough spare. So there's the 10 light engineering blocks that I need, but then everything else is going to need steel. I guess I can get the blast bricks preemptively, but that's just going to take a long time more than anything else. But by now the iron's gone through, so now I just need to steadily turn it all into steel. And you know what, I might upgrade this into an infusing factory just so I can do this quicker. The basic factory's pretty easy, and I've got enough spare to make the advanced factory too. And it's maintained all the upgrades, so now I can do this much faster. 2 stacks of steel should be enough to make the rest of this. I can get the scaffolding out of the way, and same with the blocks, and then the rest of it's pretty much just gonna have to make plates. Ooh, that was barely enough, but I don't have much spare. So now I just need to put this in place, and I'm gonna replace this dimensional infuser, because this should leave pretty much the perfect hole for an arc furnace to fit. So now to just try and build this up. And I've done this so much that I should be able to do it from memory, but I might still make a couple mistakes. Okay, I've barely built anything and I've already forgotten how exactly these light engineering blocks go around the back. Ah, I was nearly correct. The rest of this should be a pretty simple process, because the rest of it is kind of just one big block of blast bricks and a big slab of sheet metal. So, oh, I got the blast bricks the wrong way around. It's 3 on the top and 2 on the bottom. There we go. Then don't forget to cable it in so that it actually has power. And now, all I need is these graphite electrodes. And I've got a lot more coal coke now. Probably enough. Let's see. Yes, I have enough and some spare. So now I just put the raw hop graphite into the squeezer, and that makes 12 hop graphite dust, which then has to go in a bottling machine? Okay, I guess I need to make a bottling machine then. Just to make sure the metal press doesn't also work? No. Well, the bottling machine doesn't seem too expensive. I'm pretty much just missing a pump and some light engineering blocks. Then, as for where I put this, maybe I replace these machines? Yeah, because I'm moving them to the upper level anyway. So there we go. That's the bottling machine. And if I... oh, I need to give it creosote as well. I've got plenty here. Can I bucket it in? I don't think so. I guess I'll just do this then. I'll give it 3 buckets of creosote. Oh, and power. And then I'm guessing I just throw on the mold and the dust. Yes? That is weird. But it works, I guess. And it didn't even consume all the graphite. Okay. Well, I've got the 3 electrodes. That's all that matters, really. So now the arc furnace is operational. And I can start making fluix, which needs soda quartz, black quartz, and redstone. So that's pretty easy. Oh, that thunder is coming from the arc furnace? No. Entity lightning bolt. Sure, but it was only playing while the arc furnace was running? I don't know what the deal with that is. Well, either way, now that I've got fluix, I should have all the pieces to make that ME system. Ooh, maybe not quite yet, because there's still 2 more molds. I need a logic press and an engineering press. But to do that, I need to get some atomic alloy, but I've moved the machines. I'm gonna have to set them up here. It doesn't have to be a permanent setup, but I just need to get these machines placed down. Then I can get that atomic alloy. So now I can get that engineering press, and the logic press is gonna need more gold. But I have the machine in my inventory that makes more gold for me. Hang on, I just need to place this down as well. And to keep it from taking up too much space, I'm just insetting it into the wall most of the way. But now I can give it some stuff to make gold. And I may as well put too much of it in, because anything with the ME system is going to take a lot of gold. But anyway, there's the logic press. So I should have everything to get all the circuits. Now then, where to begin? I think I'll start with the controller. So that just needs one engineering processor. And also 4 skystone, which I can just do like that. Although I need skystone blocks? Oh, just smelt skystone. That's pretty easy. So there, ME controller. So that's the first part here. What else am I going to need? I'm going to need a terminal. And I think for now, instead of dealing with drives, I'll just get a storage bus. I think the storage bus is probably the easier thing to make here. I just need an annihilation core and a formation core. So that just needs some fluix dust, some charged Certus quartz, and then if I get some black quartz, I can put that through the enrichment chamber to get regular quartz. And then with 2 logic processors, I can make the annihilation cores and the formation cores, which I guess didn't need a charged Certus quartz crystal, just normal Certus quartz, to then make an interface for the storage bus. And so last, I need the crafting terminal. And this could be the most expensive part. I've got 1 spare of each core, so I don't need to do that again. The illuminated panel, I think I just need quartz glass, which I've got some spare Certus quartz dust, apparently. So there's an illuminated panel that I can turn into a regular terminal with a logic processor, and then into a crafting terminal with a calculation processor. And so I think that's all the components I'm gonna need. Ah, right, I don't actually have a way to build this yet, because I need a fluix cable. So I just need to make a quartz fiber and combine it with fluix. And there we go. So I should be able to connect this in quite easily. I'm going to move some of this around. I'm not sure where it's easiest to get the power from, but I'll put a fluix cable there with the storage bus connecting into that. So then the controller can go there with another cable and the crafting terminal. Then I'll connect in the power, and it should be good to go. This is quite a small terminal though. I'm used to it being much taller than this. I guess just an updated version of the mod. It's workable. I just like seeing a lot of my items at once. Right, so now I have an ME system. As it stands, it's no better than the TOM system, but because I have access to channels, I could start using import and export buses. Nothing comes to mind just yet for what I can do with them, but I have already been doing somewhat of an export bus with the logistical sorters, and I don't know how much I want to use an import bus just yet, because if I attach it to any sort of passive processing, it's just gonna fill up the storage real quick. So yeah, actually, until I get auto-crafting, there's no advantage to making this an ME system as opposed to the TOMs. Which, you know what? I'm gonna leave the TOMs terminal on top there, just in case something goes wrong with the power, I still have access to my items. Right, well, that was all I had planned for this video. I thought I might have been able to go far enough to get the Elite Technium machine, and I might be able to. Matter condenser's not that bad, but it's not worth me making the Elite Technium machine until I'm ready to actually make Elite Technium, which I am not. I'm gonna have to do quite a lot of theory crafting to figure out how I automate this, but now that I'm dipping into AE2, it could be easier to make this with on-demand crafting first, and then switch it to a passive process later. Because I would have done that probably with both basic and advanced Technium, just for the sake of making the process easier. I don't know. As I say, I'll have to theory craft it on my own. But the next gate is Elite Technium, and I'm gonna have to try tackling it next time. But for now, I'm happy with what I was able to get done in this video. We've got a new area of the base to put all of the actual machinery in. Or I guess this is the electric machinery. This is all the heavy machinery, We've also added quite a lot here, notably the arc furnace. And I've just gone on about all the stuff about AE2, so I'm not going to repeat that. I think that's some good progress for now. Well, I don't think I have anything else to say, so I'm going to call the video here. Bye.